We can start the lesson packing. I said I would pack. I rather pride myself on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things there are. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestions with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. George spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cocked his legs on the table. So already I have told you this is all about the packing scene of trip. Okay, and three friends are going for a tour for a trip, that is Harris, George, and the writer himself, Jerome. Okay, Jerome. So here I stands for Jerome itself. Okay, he is just describing an incident in his life. And he is telling that he is just pride about himself regarding one thing. That is, he is very much proud about his packing skill. He is able to pack anything very nicely. And now they have decided for a trip. So now he told to his friends like George and Harris that I will pack the things. Just give this whole task to me and I will do it very properly. And where they were just waiting for this suggestion, they were so happy what they have done. Immediately George was feeling so easy and he sat on his easy chair and Harris just cocked his legs on the table. Cocked his legs means bending the legs on a knee as we are sitting. Okay, so he is just sitting in a very relaxed way. This was hardly what I intended. What I meant, of course, was that I should boast the job and that Harris and George should potter about under my directions. I pushing them aside every now and then with, oh, you, here, let me do it. There you are, simple enough, really teaching them, as you might say. So here actually the writer was thinking that he should do it another way. Actually he doesn't want to do the job. He just want to superintend them. He just want to monitor them how they are doing, and he just want to make some suggestions. He just want to teach them how to do. Okay, he just want to nag them. But actually what happened now? Now Harris and George has given the whole task to Jerome and he is gonna to pack the luggages. So now we came to know that the writer was intending to boss his friends, but actually it happened in a wrong way. Now he got all the tasks to be completed and his friends are just relaxing. They're taking it in the way they did irritated me. There is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. So here we can see the writer is doing the toil. He is just packing the baggages, and what is his friends doing? They are just sitting there, and that irritates him because he is doing hard work and his friends are just enjoying the moment, and that makes him irritated. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. He would loll on the sofa and watch me doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good to look on at me messing about. Now I'm not like that. I can't sit still and see another man slaving and working. I want to get up and superintend and walk around with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. So now writer is just sharing his experience with a man. Before he used to live with a man, and that man was a peculiar character. What he used to do, he never used to do any work. He would simply loll on the sofa. Loll on the sofa means he will lean on the sofa in a very relaxed way. And he used to feel happy when he is seeing Jerome is working there. He is just messing about. Messing about means to waste time doing something. When he is seeing Jerome doing something, he used to get happiness, but he will never do anything. That man will never do anything, and he gets happiness when he is seeing Jerome doing the work. But Jerome says he is not like that. He doesn't want to sit idle, and he is having happiness when he is supervising someone. Superintendent means he is supervising. He is just supervising the works of other, and he just want to walk around with his hands in his pocket and tell others what to do. Okay, and that is his energetic way, and he is deadly, he need to do the same. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be. But I got the bag finished at last, and I sat on it and strapped it. So even though the writer was feeling to boss his friends, he hasn't got a chance. So without making any complaint, he just did his work. He started his packing, and he thought it will be a very short, very meager job, but it had taken a lot of time. But somehow he managed, and he finished at last, and he sat on the bag and he just strapped it because it was full of stuffs and it was unable to strap it properly. So he just sat on it and he strapped the bag. Strap the bag means he closed the bag. "Ain't you going to put the boots in?" said Harris. So after the writer has closed the bag, Harris made a comment, "Haven't you put the boots inside the bag?" And I looked around and I found I had forgotten them. That is just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I would got the bag shut and strapped. Of course. And George laughed, one of those irritating, senseless laughs of his. So, till the moment the writer closed the bag, Harris hasn't told even a word regarding the boots. And now he is just reminding him regarding the boots, and he was getting irritated, and he got more irritated when he saw George is laughing hearing this one. And for him, that laugh was the most irritating and a senseless laugh. "They do make me so wild." I opened the bag and packed the boots in, and then just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. So after packing the boots, again an idea came into the mind of Jerome, and he was worried whether he had kept his toothbrush inside the bag. Okay, and he just forgot about the toothbrush. He is not reminding, he is unable to recollect whether he has kept it inside or is it outside. "My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery." So this is the thing that haunts him. Haunts him means it is creating problem to him. Okay, every time creating troubles to him, and it will make his life a misery. Misery means sad. Always he used to get problem due to this toothbrush. "I dream that I haven't packed it and wake up in a cold perspiration and get out of the bed and hunt for it." So just the previous night, what used to happen in his life? The previous night he used to dream about the toothbrush, and he will wake up in a cold perspiration. Means he used to sweat a lot because he is getting tensed. And he will get out of the bed and he will hunt for the toothbrush. And in the morning, I pack it before I have used it and have to unpack again to get it. And it always the last thing I turn out of the bag, and then I repack and forget. And I have to rush upstairs for it at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. So this is the thing happening in his life. Whenever he is planning for a trip, he will always get bothered about the toothbrush. And he used to unpack the bag and he will take the toothbrush, and in the morning he will forget to keep it again inside the bag. And at the last moment again he have to rush up to the room and he have to take it, and he will be running towards the railway station wrapping the toothbrush in the pocket handkerchief. This is a normal scene in his life. Now the writer is just worried about the toothbrush. He is worried whether he has kept it inside or not. So now we can see the writer is searching it. Jerome is searching for his toothbrush. Of course I had to turn every mortal thing out now, and of course I could not find it. I rummaged the things up into much the same state they must have been before the world was created and when chaos reigned. So here he is just describing how he is searching for his toothbrush. He is just turning every mortal thing. Mortal things means every ordinary thing. He is just picking everything and searching whether the brush is under that. and he was unable to find it out, and he was just doing it in a hurry burry. Okay, he was just searching in a hurry burry in a very careless way. And of course I found George and Harris 18 times over, but I could not find my own. I put the things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. I repacked once more. So, while the writer was searching for his toothbrush, he had seen George and Harris toothbrush more than 18 times, but at last really he came to see his toothbrush, and it was inside a boot, and he found it and he just repacked the bags again. When I had finished, George asked if the soap was in. I said I didn't care a hang whether the soap was in or whether it was in. And I slammed the bag shut and strapped it and found that I had packed my spectacles in it and had to reopen it. It got shut up finally at 10:05 p.m. and then there remained the hampers to do. Harris said that we should be wanting to start in less than 12 hours time and thought that he and George had better do the rest. And I agreed and sat down, and they had a go. So when the writer has again closed the bag, then George is asking whether you put the soap inside the bag, and what the writer has told, I didn't care a hang. I didn't care a hang means he's not showing any interest. Okay, whether the soap is inside or not, it doesn't bother him, and he just slammed the bag. Slam the bag means shut the bag very forcefully and loudly, making the sound. Okay, very in an angry way. He just closed the bag, and again he made a blunder. What he has done, he just packed the spectacles inside the baggage, and again he has to reopen it, and finally he shut the bag by 10:05 p.m. And then they have to pack the hampers. Hampers means a large basket for carrying food. They have to pack the food as well. So now Harris made a statement that they have to start the journey within 12 hours, and so it is better to pack the hampers by now, and George and Harris will go with that. They began in a light-hearted spirit, I evidently intending to show me how to do it. So they were about to pack the hampers. Hampers means the large basket for carrying food, and they just started in a very light-hearted way. Light-hearted way means in a cheerful way, and they evidently means clearly they just wanted to show this light-hearted spirit towards Jerome, because Jerome was always in a tension when he is packing the baggage, but now they are just pretending that they are very light. They are not that much bothered about all this thing. That is a very light thing, very simple thing. Right now, George and Harris, they are making tremendous silly mistakes, and what is Jerome doing over there? He is just sitting there and watching what they are doing. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt that I made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them, and they couldn't find them when they wanted them, and they packed the pies at the bottom and put heavy things on top and smashed the pies in. So right now they are making blunders, but the writer is totally silent, and that silence irritates them. Okay, he is not making a comment, and that silence irritates them, and they are getting more nervous and excited, and they used to keep the things behind them, and when they are searching for it, they are unable to find it. Okay, and what they have done, they just pack the pies is a very fragile edible thing. Okay, like a cake. It is not a cake, but looks like a cake, and they just pack the pies at the bottom of the hamper, and they just put all the heavy things on the top, and what will happen to the pies also get smashed.